Here at thetrek.co is an article entitled My Accidental Sleepover with a Cult. Is our author down here? Yes, it's written by Wayward, a teacher from South Korea, but he hails from the Shawanguk Mountains in New York. Along the Appalachian Trail, he has hiked blue blazed, pink blazed, yellow blazed, and aqua blazed, among other colors. And Wayward begins, I docked my canoe at Watermelon Campground at last. I just paddled about 150 miles on the Shenandoah River, which flows parallel to the Appalachian Trail in the Shenandoah Mountains of Virginia. Hikers call this aqua blazing, as opposed to following the white blazes that mark the Appalachian Trail. Now, I needed to catch a train in Harper's Ferry to Washington, D.C. From D.C., I would travel to New York, where I would hike another section of the trail. Unfortunately, Harper's Ferry was about 30 miles away, and I only had $60 left in my bank account. So I searched my guidebook for a cheap place to stay. Stony Brook, a nearby organic farm, offered work for stay. I called them and was thrilled when they said they'd pick me up, feed me, house me for the night, and drive me to Harper's Ferry the next day, all for free, even if I didn't have time to actually work. Within the hour, an older woman in homespun clothes picked me up in her station wagon. Stony Brook, she said, was not only an organic farm, but a religious commune called the 12 Tribes of Israel. Dang it, I'd been bait and switched. During an Appalachian Trail section hike in Vermont the previous year, I had first heard of the 12 Tribes, who also have a farm close to the trail in Rutland, Vermont. Hikers, including some who'd volunteered and stayed on the farm, told me various stories about the commune. One hiker said they enforced a 10 o'clock bedtime, but only for guests who are female. Another repeated a rumor about a young through hiker who got sucked into the 12 Tribes and was trapped baking bread in their basement until his parents came to the rescue. Other hikers said they were harmless. I remembered buying an energy bar from the 12 Tribes tent at the Trail Days Festival in Damascus, Virginia. Regardless, I was surprised my guidebook did not mention that Stony Brook Farm was a religious organization. Appalachian Trail resources I'd encountered usually mentioned if a service is provided by a religious institution. Even most trail magic, random acts of kindness from strangers on the trail, that I had found would acknowledge sponsorship by a church or religious organization. Whatever the truth about Stony Brook Farm, I felt tricked, and I was worried about staying with a religious commune. I would have preferred a secular hostel with a microwave and a collection of VHS tapes, but we were already underway. Arriving at Stony Brook Farm, I felt like I was entering an American Girl doll historical chapter book. People in loose homespun clothing moseyed around the farm's compound, finishing up their evening chores. Up the hill from the main house, people were constructing small huts. These would be bunkhouses to host even more Appalachian Trail hikers, said my driver, who was also the farm's school teacher. Almost all the young women I saw were holding babies. People greeted me and made intense contact with their eyes. Every conversation ended with, "How long are you staying with us?" and "I wish you could stay with us longer." I thought of the expression, "Don't drink the Kool-Aid," but Stony Brook Farm's nectar was the mate, a caffeinated herbal drink, often pronounced mate. The mate. It's spelled mate. The community had already eaten dinner, but some of them took me to their dining room and served me fruit, a bowl of gruel, and a steaming cup of mate. While I ate, the school teacher sat beside me and spoke with a distressed young woman wearing jeans and holding a cell phone. An outsider, I thought. They talked about her plans to quit her job that weekend and join the community. After I finished eating, the teacher showed me around the farm, then took me to her bedroom and offered me a twin-sized bed parallel to her own. She lent me a pair of homespun balloon pants to wear while I did my laundry. Then sorted my backpack, and she graded geography tests. One kid, she said, had answered that Ohio was a country, and another wrote that Spain was a continent. Maybe we should review geography. Mostly we just teach proverbs, she said. The children study for half a day, she explained, and then they do farm work. After my much-needed bath, it was bedtime. I asked the teacher if they had a book I could read. My copy of Krakauer's Into Thin Air got destroyed during my aqua blaze, when my canoe was pinned against a rock and flooded with water. The teacher said, "We have that book." There were no novels or magazines or non-12 tribes literature on the farm. "Oh, we have the book," the teacher said. "We have the book." I guess the teacher means the one book. There were no novels, magazines, or non-12 tribes literature on the farm. So I nestled into my bed, parallel to the teacher's matching bed, and read a propaganda pamphlet. It said that members must disconnect from their friends and families outside of the community, renounce their worldly possessions, and provide services in the community's organic delis and markets for free. I text messaged several friends and my older sister, "Staying with a cult for the night. Hope I don't get sucked in." The teacher woke me around 5 a.m. to get dressed and attend their religious circle. First she brought me to the main house. Families flowed into the kitchen and gathered around a pot of brewing mate. Even the children ladled mate into their cups for their morning fix. Next we sat in an outdoor tent area, our chairs in a circle, and the ceremony began around 6 a.m. A young man with a full blonde beard started playing guitar. He looked like he could have been a member of the band Fleet Foxes. They sang songs about Yeshua, a pseudo-Hebrew word for Jesus. I felt rude sitting and drinking my mate while the community stood with their hands in the air, so I put down my mug and started waving my arms too. After more Yeshua songs, an elderly woman shared her conversion story. She said she was in financial ruin before she joined the 12 tribes. Next, an older man gave a speech saying that the cultural movements of the 1960s were all failures. Therefore, people should join the 12 tribes community. He stressed the importance of authority to the 12 tribes. Quote, "Children must be spanked if they disobey. Women must listen to their husbands and authority figures." End quote. He mentioned George Orwell's 1984 and said that people in the news use doublespeak, just like in the book. Actually, he was combining Orwell's terms newspeak and doublethink. I wonder if 1984's anti-authority, anti-censorship themes had made any impression upon him. Then he directed his speech at me. "Hikers and canoers are just like us. We're both looking for something. We're searchers." I gulped down the rest of my mate. The circle concluded and it was breakfast time. Though Stony Brook Farms serves gourmet treats and artisanal bread in their organic delis, the people on the farm seemed to mostly eat gruel. The women at my table said again they wished I could stay longer. They asked what I was going to do later that day. I've been planning to stop at the Smithsonian in D.C., as I'd longed to see their dinosaur exhibit since I was a kid. But was the existence of dinosaurs controversial for the 12 tribes? I wasn't sure, so I said nothing. After breakfast, I used the restroom. When I came out, the teacher was praying discreetly beside the door. Annoyed at her clinginess, I thought I'd branch out and make other friends in the cult. I offered to help a mother with her morning chores. While she folded laundry, I babysat her toddler and 4-year-old daughter. "What is life like for women on the farm?" I asked. She said most girls think about getting married throughout their childhood and usually marry between 17 and 19 years old. She had joined the 12 tribes in her late 20s and was paired up with another man who'd also recently joined. While she changed the bed upstairs, she mentioned she didn't like having to do all the housework for her husband and her family. Afterward, the mother brought her children and me to the bakery where her next chores would begin. The guitarist from the morning circle was kneading dough. He smiled and asked, "Where are you from?" I said, "Upstate New York." Would this be my cult husband if I stayed here? I was then 24 and a half, probably an old maid by the standards of the 12 tribes, but still within breeding age. I could wed this beautiful brainwashed hipster, procreate, and make artisanal bread for the rest of my life. Wait, no, I snapped out of my delusion. I have ambitions. I want to see the dinosaur exhibit. I want to hike the Appalachian Trail, one section at a time. The little girl told me, "We have lots of mice here." Her mom said, "You're not supposed to tell Cindy that, dear," as she carried in a bowl of raisins for their bread. "It's okay, I have mice in my house too," I said, as I drew the girl a picture of a superhero to color. Finally, it was time to leave Harper's Ferry and catch my train to D.C. I thanked the community for the free meals, the bed, the laundry, the shelter, which I got in exchange for very little work. A man whom I had not met before gave me a ride out. He spoke about his son's career and sounded proud of him, though they were no longer in contact, as his son was not a member of the 12 tribes. In Harper's Ferry, we did loop around town and stopped beside every person wearing a backpack to ask if they wanted to stay on the organic farm. The driver boasted, "It's a great place, just ask her." I'm a seasoned hitchhiker, and I believe it's best not to disagree with your driver. "Yep," I said shyly, but I tried to communicate with my eyes. Beware, it's a cult. Hikers, like feral cats, can be easily seduced by anyone who brandishes free food. But if you ask me, people who are kind in order to convert you to a community that severs you from literature, your friends, your family, and has mandatory meetings at 6 a.m., may not have your best interests at heart. Now it's time for some art.
Yo, come on!
Mom,
I swear to God, your bladder's worse than my grandfather's. Bro, I've got a curfew. I gotta be home. You know how my parents get about that shit. Thank you.
come on, just enjoy the nice day. Don't worry about your parents for one single night.
That's you right. Anyone that... Yo! Anybody there?
Dude, what's going on?
Yo, I think there's somebody in the woods.
What the fuck are you talking about? There's nothing out there, you're just seeing shit.
I'm not just seeing shit. There's something right there.
Just get in the car.
Where?
See anything?
What the hell? Ah! Oh, dude, get the fuck away! What are you doing? Stop! No. No! What are you... What? Stop! Why are you doing this, please? Who are you people?
We've chosen you to join us, to be one of us.
No.
Sam, you've been chosen to lead us, to be our future.
No. Oh. Who are you people? Why are you doing this? Please stop, please.
We can give you anything you want.
No!
Just join us.
Anything I ever wanted? All right, you got a deal. Just untie me, please. Just
Good. Now all you have to do is die.
please, no, stop!
Hey, what time is it? What time is it? Yo! What time is it? Can you get home? Dude, why are you staring at me like that? Freak me out. Alright?